We all know Smackdown Live is going to debut on Fox Sports in October of 2019. October 4th, 2019 to be exact. There are several reports about this week, and it continues to pick up steam. People are excited about it. I'm excited about it. The prospect of the product possibly getting better always excites me. We just don't know what this new home for SmackDown Live is going to bring, the overall WWE product. Now, as you guys know, the move is happening in October. It's being reported right now that it's a temporary thing for SmackDown Live to be on Fridays. I don't know what that means. The show will continue to be broadcast live, but the Fox Sports CEO, or Fox's CEO, Charlie Collier, actually came out this week and shared some more info on the new WWE Fox Sports partnership. Apparently, SmackDown Live won't be the only WWE programming on Fox's network of channels, and he spoke to the Television Critics Association on Wednesday, and he said, and I quote, "The Fox Sports networks, FS1 and others, will have some other wrestling, not SmackDown Live, not Raw, but other ties to the WWE world." We don't know what that means. We don't know if that means WWE is bringing back talk shows or post shows, pre-shows. Talking Smack has been something that people have been lobbying for to come back ever since it was canceled. And I think that would be great for the WWE product because it offered something that we don't ever see on WWE television, a real life insight or a real feel insight to what these characters and these people and who they are, what they are. You know, it was so refreshing to see a Dolph Ziggler or a Baron Corbin sit down with Renee Young and Daniel Bryan actually feeling like human beings. Not reading from a script, not having to memorize lines. That's why people love the show. The reason why Talking Smack was canceled was because Vince McMahon hated all those aspects. He hated how it kind of broke through that wall. It gave you an insight into the business and into who these people are that he didn't want you to know. And I don't know why. As if that shit even matters to anybody anymore. Now, the other thing I was thinking about, and this might be a far-fetched idea, there were rumors that WWE could be bringing NXT to FS1. And I would be all for that. Because I think NXT deserves the eyes. There was a report this week that Halftime Heat was the most watched NXT program or most watched NXT match of all time. I am not surprised by that. They have the best roster that brand has ever seen. But if WWE is thinking about putting NXT on FS1, I think that's a great thing, not only for the WWE to get those guys exposure, it's more eyes on NXT, something that you might not want to watch on the network, or maybe you're not subscribed to the network, maybe you don't care about NXT, maybe them being on FS1 would bring a little bit more awareness to what's going on. Because I feel if you're not watching NXT, you're making a really big mistake for yourself. And the most important aspect of NXT being on FS1, if it's on FS1, and if it's on a sister channel to Fox Sports, it's going to be looked at more so now than a third brand. This might give WWE a reason to keep those guys on NXT and never move them to the main roster. They're going to need big names. They're going to need big names to do live touring with. They're going to need big names to get people to watch the show. So we might not see the likes of an Adam Cole or a Ricochet or an Aleister Black or a Velveteen Dream even leave NXT. NXT might be their destination for a little bit longer than usual because we're all excited about what they could possibly bring to the main roster. If NXT is really going to be looked at, which it should be looked at right now as a third brand, if it's on FS1, it's definitely going to be in the same category to everybody as Raw and SmackDown. That might be the way that they keep those types of guys on FS1, on NXT to build that brand. Maybe they move NXT to Tuesday nights to counter All Elite Wrestling. That was my other option. That was the other thing I was thinking about. What if All Elite Wrestling does get a TV deal with a TBS or a TNT? The reports that they were in Atlanta, doing business. They were there for the Super Bowl, obviously, but they were also doing business because Turner Broadcasting, their home offices, their home base is in Atlanta. What if they do get a TV deal and end up on Tuesday nights? SmackDown's old home was Tuesday night. What if WWE puts NXT on FS1? What if Fox wants NXT on FS1 and Fox moves NXT to Tuesday nights to counter All Elite Wrestling? Now, I don't know how I would go about that because I definitely want to watch both, but that is another option. So we got NXT going to FS1 as a possibility. It's been talked about. Possibly NXT being moved to Tuesday nights to counter All Elite Wrestling. Shows like Talking Smack being brought back to add more WWE content to get their bang for the buck on Fox Sports. These are all viable options. Now, because it seems SmackDown has taken the place of UFC in the Fox lineup of programming, it's easy to imagine WWE shows along the same lines of UFC on Fox tonight and some of the other auxiliary UFC programming that ran on FS1. Maybe WWE could bring back, I'm not sure if these shows appeared on FS1, maybe like The Ultimate Fighter, maybe WWE can bring Breaking Ground back, or maybe Tough Enough. I know there's been some people lobbying for those shows to come back. I thought Breaking Ground was a great show. Maybe more WWE content like that, all at the same time while producing original content for the WWE Network. Now, this could even be more valuable to both the WWE and Fox if the opportunities are utilized correctly. The additional spots would allow the WWE to build more storylines, feature more superstars during in-ring action, or even cutting promos. There's also the possibility of a weekly roundup show, pay-per-view previews, and an FS1 show that also might give WWE a chance to implement more of a sports-like feel to match the other programming that is currently on FS1. All of those things I could definitely see happening. Pay-per-view previews, getting you hyped before the big shows, a weekly roundup show that could take place on a Thursday or a Sunday. It's great. You got Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday being the main days for WWE programming. You could put a weekly roundup show, right, on Thursday, or with the new programming schedule, Monday and Wednesday, and then Friday, you could do the weekly roundup show after SmackDown Live is over. Something to bleed into that weekly roundup show. If you want to do Sunday, you could do Sunday. They definitely have options. So I expect more WWE programming to be implemented across Fox Sports. These additional time slots are something that WWE doesn't currently have on the USA Network, and it will likely expose the product to a new audience, which is only a great thing. And they're going to need a new audience if they're going to Fox Sports. Now, Fox could theoretically garner more attention from a new demographic on channels they might not have watched before. This goes above and beyond the 2.5 million fans who routinely tune in to watch SmackDown Live every Tuesday right now on the USA Network currently. There was a report going around as well that WWE is possibly looking into pushing the envelope for TV 14. And WWE maybe being a little bit more risque on Monday and Tuesday nights. I don't think that's needed whatsoever. They're looking for ways where they could build the product up and have it be the strongest it's been going into this deal with Fox. And they're going to need to do something because there's declining ratings every single week. There is a declining interest in the overall product. There is just no interest at all in anything WWE-wise. They may be making all this types of money financially for the business, for the company, but the quality of the shows are terrible. And we know this. You know it. I know it. Everybody knows it. Some people are afraid to admit it. I'm not. The shows are terrible. Everything outside NXT is terrible. Now, TV 14 is not needed. I don't want WWE to go to TV 14. Yes, they need to be more adult-like. Yes, they need to stop insulting their fans' intelligence. Yes, they need to book consistently. Yes, they need to have someone oversee these shows so that they don't have so many logic holes or logic gaps in these shows on Monday and Tuesday night. Things generally do not make sense from a week-to-week basis. It seems as if WWE just pieces these shows together and they're being held up by fucking Scotch tape. They are not good. There is a lot going on right now that is wrong with the current WWE product. I've been saying for years that if they take from NXT, if they take a little of what NXT does, and they do so much right and very little wrong, if you take from NXT and apply it to Monday and Tuesday night, the product will be better off for it. But then again, you hear reports that Vince doesn't watch NXT. You got people in the WWE right now in upper management positions who don't pay attention to what NXT is doing. This is the future of your fucking company. These are guys that are going to take this company to the next level, and you're not watching the progress of your future? I find that to be incredibly bizarre. If I'm Vince McMahon, I'm going to have all my eyes and ears on NXT. And I'm going to be looking at that, and with the overall praise that the product is getting, I'm going to be watching it, and I'm going to see, well, why are these people talking about how good this is? What could I do to make Raw and Smackdown better? If they took from NXT and applied it to Monday and Tuesday night, the shows would be better off for it. You don't need TV 14. NXT is a sports-like show that gives you a real sports-like feel with storylines that keep you coming back for more, with characters and wrestlers that you genuinely want to see. It's not that difficult. You don't need TV 14. You need to book your shows at a high quality, and you need to be consistent with what you're trying to tell on a week-to-week basis. Monday Night Raw and SmackDown Live do not give the audience a reason to tune into the next week. It's a snowball effect. If you have Monday Night Raw, as bad as it is now, putting on the shows that they're doing now, what reason is there to watch next week's? If you give off the vibe that nothing changes on this show, and you constantly book the same show over and over and over again, what incentive are you giving the audience to tune into the next week? And when shit goes bad, we call Vince McMahon. It's not how it works. That goes to show you that they don't care about the product. That, or they just don't care about what's going on television. You do not need TV 14. TV 14 was never needed. The Attitude Era, it was there, it died there. You don't need it. All they need to do is book consistently and give me storylines that keep the viewer coming back to watch week after week after week. I don't miss a week of NXT. I don't. Why don't I miss a week of NXT? Because there's always something that is going on. Storyline consistency. Characters that you'll see one week, you won't see them for the next 3, and you want to see them. The more you see them, the more you want to care about them. WWE doesn't do this. Yes, I know they have hours of television to fill, and we have to see everybody every week. But the quality of the shows is so poor that I end up not caring about anybody on the show. And then it's even more difficult to get me to care again about them, because you've lost trust in the viewer. WWE needs to fix whatever is wrong with this product right now and quick. You think TV ratings don't matter? You think TV ratings don't matter to WWE right now? Why are they pushing the envelope a little bit more? Just like the idiots who don't think AEW is having effect on WWE. Why is WWE pushing all their quote-unquote nobodies or bench players? Because they know those bench players are looking at AEW, wanting a new opportunity, an opportunity that you never gave them. So now they're pushing all their nobodies in hopes to try and make them happy. It's all the same shit. You don't think ratings matter? Why is WWE so bent on fixing the ratings? Why are they wanting to push the TV 14 envelope? Why are they trying new things? Why did they bring Vince McMahon back to garner a rating? Why do they tout a new era? TV ratings don't matter? They still matter. No matter how many times people want to say they don't matter, they do. And they're going to matter even more so. More so than any period in WWE now. If you think that Fox won't cancel SmackDown Live, you're a fool. You're a fool. I don't give a fuck how much money Fox shelled out for SmackDown Live. They'll cancel them before they even blink. If they're getting ratings as Monday Night Raw is slumping right now, if they get similar ratings to what Raw is getting right now, 6 times they beat their own record in 2018. If you think that's happening on SmackDown Live and Fox is just going to let it go, you're an idiot. They will cancel SmackDown Live quicker than you could fucking blink. Or they'll move them to a new night. Or they'll move SmackDown to FS1 and say, fuck it. This is important. All of this is going to be important going into SmackDown Live October 4th, 2019. They have to fix whatever is going on right now. I hope for a real sports-like product. I hope for a real sports-like feel. This product needs it. They've done everything else, and everything that they've done has failed. If they take a little of what is in NXT and apply it, I guarantee you, you are consistent with that, people will come. That's all you need to do. You don't need to try these out-of-the-box fucking theories. You don't need to fucking try so hard. You don't need to have Alexa Bliss come on TV and make sexual innuendos. You don't have to have women coming out scantily clad. You don't need to do any of that. You don't need blood. You don't need the hardcore garbage. You don't need to push the envelope in that way. It's been done before. It's antiquated. People want to care. Give them a reason to fucking care. Look at AEW. They're giving reasons for people to care. They're giving you an outline of what they want to do. They're assembling a roster of people that you are invested in, and they're bringing them aboard. Their itinerary is growing every single month. Wins and losses are going to matter. We're going to take a little bit of the aspects that you loved in the old school, and we're going to apply it to the new school. They're giving you reasons to fucking care. And when you watch and you see these things executed, you're going to make a decision, well, I like it or I don't. Most of us will like it because WWE isn't doing anything to keep your interest. It's important. It's important. They need to change. Vince McMahon had a fucking investor call, and I'm going to read this to you right now. I was going to save this for the actual fucking show and not talk about it in the open. Vince McMahon says we're doing everything right. We know what we're doing during an investor call. In what context did he mean that? Now, I understand he's supposed to tell the investors and the stockholders and the shareholders that we know what we're doing, because I won't want to buy into a fucking company if the man himself is saying, well, we don't know what the fuck we're doing. Vince McMahon literally said, we know what we're doing during a fourth quarter financial call earlier this week. McMahon said international revenue has risen above $300 million for the first time in the company's history as proof of his statement. Why does this number matter to me? This doesn't matter to me. Great, you made your fucking money. I don't give a shit. McMahon praised the company's Super Showdown event in Australia. He said that the show was WWE's largest international event in company history as well. The upcoming television switch, which will also boost the company's growth and exposure, as he described the planned push behind them, is exponential. End quote. Vince McMahon continued to say that the Mixed Match Challenge and Evolution pay-per-view will continue to transform WWE. The company is also going to continue their focus on reality television, such as Total Divas, Total Bellas, and Miz and Mrs. This is WWE knowing what they're doing financially. They're a global brand. They know what people want as far as that goes. They know how to utilize what they've built and make it a global fucking phenomenon. We know what we're doing in that aspect. Yeah, there's no question. Vince McMahon has lined himself up with people who are making him more money than he's ever seen this company make. What they don't know what they're doing is how to book a fucking wrestling show. And people like me, people like you, people like the rest of the community, all we want is a quality fucking show. on Monday and Tuesday night. There, they don't know what the fuck they're doing. And if you think they know what they're doing, all you need to do is watch Monday Night Raw from this past Monday, and you could see that they don't know what the fuck they have to do to put on a good show. And don't cite, oh, there's injuries, oh, this, oh, that, it's 3 hours. Bullshit. Bullshit. They have every resource possible to them to fix these shows, and they don't do it. They instead want to rehash scripts from 3 months ago, and they want to provide you a show in February after saying, this is a new era. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. Maybe monetarily they know what they're doing, but wrestling-wise, they don't know what the landscape of the business is looking like anymore. Pathetic. Absolutely fucking pathetic. Then they brag about creating compelling content, and they cite Crown Jewel as compelling content. A joke! Vince McMahon's company was suddenly taking shots from all directions with Crown Jewel, including John Oliver and his Tonight program on 2 separate occasions. During WWE's fourth quarter financial call, WWE co-president George Barrios praised 2 big international shows in 2018 that WWE put on. Super Showdown in Australia and Crown Jewel, and cited them for creating compelling content such as Crown Jewel and Super Showdown. Compelling? What was compelling about Crown Jewel? The entire show came off as, hi, we're here, they paid us a huge sum of money, and we're going to go into this in the most lackadaisical way possible with absolutely no build whatsoever. Compelling content? The compelling thing about the entire show was the fact that the conspiracies behind it and the national exposure that it received for all the wrong reasons, that was the most compelling thing about it. The fact that you were still there after what happened was the most compelling part of the entire situation, not the actual show. He said that these shows had a considerable impact on the company's revenue as well. Yeah, when someone pays you $500 million, how could it not? The Kingdom of Saudi Arabia is paying WWE all this money, and they are just in the second of a 10-year deal with the controversial nation. Therefore, fans can probably expect much more compelling, quote-unquote, content to come for the next 8 years. People, you know, I understand that they have a business to run, and they're doing it the right way. Every single year, once 2018 closed, 2019 needs to make more money than 2018, so on and so forth. When we get into 2020, they need to make more money than they did in 2019. I understand that. But the fact that we are not getting the quality of content that we deserve as far as fans go, and all we're being pushed, or all that's being shoved down our throats is the financials and how much money they're making and this and that. In the grand scheme of it all, underneath all that bullshit that nobody gives a fuck about, that you and I don't give a shit about, we know the fucking quality of the content is garbage. Fox is paying them $1 billion. If they think that the current WWE product is worth $1 billion, they have to be the dumbest fucking people I've ever seen in my entire life. Either that or Vince McMahon is the biggest con artist in the history of con artists. Fox Sports are a bunch of suckers. And I pray to God that we get what we deserve at the end of this all. I doubt we do, but I'm hoping that Fox Sports sees the current landscape of WWE. This is why I want ratings to fall and fail. Because once they fall, as low as they could go, someone from the outside is going to step on in, like Fox, and ask for certain things to be changed. Why is this the way it is? You need to fix this, and this, and then maybe things will get back on the right foot. I'm hoping that's the way it happens. I doubt it, but I hope WWE takes this as moving into a new home. I hope that they take this move seriously. I hope that they actually have fans for the first time in a long time. Maybe they should start putting the fans first at some point with some aspects of the show instead of putting themselves first. You're going to make your money Just give me the fucking television. If they continue to do what they do, more and more people are going to be watching an AEW or Ring of Honor or go subscribe to New Japan World. If they just take the NXT model and give me consistency, and they put on good show after good show after good show, and it's going to take a while. If they continue to do Monday Night Raw consistent, week after week, month after month, give it 6 to 8 months. If people start seeing that show on a consistent basis getting better and better and better, fans will come. The fan that you lost will come back. If you continue doing what you're doing right now, I don't have an answer for you. I'm going to sit here and continue to tell you that things need to change. Everybody else in the community is going to continue to tell you things need to change. Things need to change. Things need to change. Because they're making all this money, that doesn't mean the content or the quality of the program is good. That's for the fucking idiot out there who thinks he's getting some kickback of revenue from WWE. You're just pretending that things are all right, but what you're really telling me is that you're a fucking idiot. Smackdown Live needs to move to Fox and be it needs to be the flag bearer for this company. It needs to show that they actually care about the product and the fans who watch the product. And I hope that moving to Fox just generates an overall sense of positivity for the rest of the shows. That's all I can hope for. Off the script, man, we got a lot to talk about. We are going to go over some WrestleMania news. We're going to go over Becky Lynch and Stephanie McMahon. Why Stephanie McMahon suspended Becky Lynch from the WWE. All this plus so much more right here on Off the Script. This is episode 260, part number 2. I'm going to hit the intro, and I'll see you guys in just a little bit. Off this shitty fucking product by coming on here and speaking the fucking goddamn truth about this fucking filth. And I can book a better show taking a fucking dump after eating my fucking Chipotle chorizo with extra cheese. I don't give a fuck what anybody has to say. Have I ever? Of course not. WWE is great, man. Fuck you, Japan, and Kenny Omega, Okada. Delete! What is it, man? Can I suck your dick? What is it, man? And this is the #1 fucking podcast right here on YouTube.com. This is Off the Script. What's going on, guys? Thank you so much for joining me here on Off the Script, episode 260. This is part number 2 for your Saturday, February 9th, 2019. I'm excited tonight, man. Tonight, I get to call what will probably be the greatest House of Glory main event in company history. That's saying a lot after what the Amazing Red and Anthony Gangone did in August with that no ropes match. And this may very well be one of the best tag team matches I see all year. And if you guys are fortunate enough to be there at the NYC Arena tonight, you will feel the same way, I'm sure, after it's all said and done. LAX and the newly signed All Elite Lucha Brothers, Pentagon and Phoenix, they will be battling for the House of Glory Tag Team Championships tonight at Recapture the Glory. House of Glory tonight at the NYC Arena in Queens, New York. If you guys are in the area, tickets are still on sale. Tickets are still on sale right now. Come on out. I will be calling that match with, obviously, my commentary partner, Matthew Ryan Shapiro, and we will have Jason Solomon, the Solomon Monster, as our special guest because he's such a big fan of Pentagon and he's a big Lucha Underground guy. And I told him, bro, get your package pile driver call ready. We're going to be seeing a bunch of them. So it's going to be great, man. I can't wait. I don't know what you guys are doing on your Saturday night, but I know I'll be calling a tag team match with both of those teams, man, and I'm absolutely fucking excited about it. NYC Arena, HOGWrestling.net tonight. Make sure you guys come on out for House of Glory. Speaking of the Lucha Brothers, we talked about them being the new signees of AEW. They are not exclusive. They will be working on a per-day basis. But as soon as their contracts are up with whomever they are with now, I'm assuming that they will be exclusive to AEW. I don't know why AEW would not want them, but as long as they're on the roster right now and working with AEW in some capacity, we can't complain. AEW, Phoenix, Pentagon, and Kenny Omega are the newest signees to All Elite Wrestling. Double or Nothing is taking shape, and it's looking great. Omega and Jericho 2. The Lucha Brothers versus the Young Bucks. Hangman Page versus Prince Pac. And we got Joey Janela versus MJF. Those are the matches right now, tentative for Double or Nothing in Las Vegas, May 25th at the MGM Grand. I covered all of that in the fan rally coverage, man. And if you guys want to go check that out, it is live on the channel right now, along with everything else that you might have missed. NXT, Velveteen Dream wants Gargano and not Ciampa. He won the Worlds Collide. He wants the North American title. Becky Lynch suspended from WWE. I got the real reason for that today on Off the Script. Monday Night Raw review is live. SmackDown Live, Becky was suspended. She showed up on SmackDown Live and slapped the shit out of Triple H. So that's on SmackDown Live. We talked about a major top WWE superstar getting a major offer from AEW. I thought it was AJ Styles or Shinsuke Nakamura. Neither one of them. It was Randy Orton the Viper. I even got some video game content on the channel for you. Resident Evil 2 Remake Part Number 2. And like I said, man, the Viper, will he slither his way into AEW? That was Friday's episode. Go and check all that stuff out on the channel. And like I said, the AEW rally. Kenny Omega, not only the new signee, but he's the new executive vice president of All Elite Wrestling, man. All that content for you right here on the channel. So your weekends are completely filled up with the amount of content I got waiting for you guys, man. Thank you so much. Follow me on social media at JD from NY206 on Twitter, and the same thing on Instagram, JD from NY206. I've been on Instagram a little bit more, posting clips of the show, just showing you guys highlights of the show. I've been on there a little bit more in general. I want to get to 10,000 followers before we hit SummerSlam. I think that is a very, very attainable goal. So thank you guys so much if you followed me over there. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on that bell for all notifications. Would greatly appreciate it. I would also appreciate if you guys hit that thumbs up. They absolutely help out the content and the channel, man. Every time you guys hit that thumbs up, it helps the video get searched more, and it pushes it in YouTube's search engine. So please hit that thumbs up. Let's try for a minimum of 2,000 likes on today's episode of Off the Script. And I gotta thank all my patrons, man. Patreon.com/JD from NY206. Thank you guys so very much for all your support on Patreon. I gotta shout out these particular patrons, man. These are the newest patrons to Team JD. Again, I got to thank Mike Waz from Brooklyn from raising his pledge from $10 to $20. We got Brett L. pledging $1. We got Dylan Sopp pledging $5. And we got Stanley Sprouse pledging $5. Also, Eric Sanchez pledging $5 as well. Thank you guys so very much for all your love and support from the Patreon family, man. And I got to shout out everybody who purchased the new JD Elite t-shirt, man. Available right now on bonfire.com. I got to shout out Melvin, Jared, Dylan, Jaquel, Chris, Brandon, another Chris. I'm not sure if it's the same Chris or another Chris, but to both Chris's, thank you so much. And those are the latest who bought a t-shirt from bonfire.com, man. You guys are absolutely beast. I thank each and every one of you. If you guys want to go get your t-shirts, link is in the description down below. Become a part of JD's Elite. And I'll be in Vegas for Double or Nothing, man. I want to see every single one of you heading out there for Double or Nothing to be wearing this t-shirt. JD's Elite, now available on bonfire.com. We blew our campaign goal out of the water, and now we are headed towards 100 sold in less than a week. Go get yours today, man, and become a part of JD's Elite. Thank you guys so very much. Got to shout out Harry's, harrys.com/script. You guys know the deal with Harry's. I've been sponsored with Harry's for over a year. I've been using the product for over a year, man. Harry's is absolutely fantastic. And I want to talk a little bit about Harry's as to why you guys should sign up and get your free trial. You guys are going to get a $13 free trial of Harry's. And if you are not satisfied with it, you're going to get your money back 100% guaranteed. I've been using it for over a year. You guys know my story. I found out about it through my father and my brother. And I love the closeness of the shave. I love how I have not cut myself because I have sensitive skin. So what do you guys love about Harry's products? Do you guys like the closeness, the smooth, comfortable glide? It could be anything. Let me know on Twitter, because I know a lot of you guys send me all your testimonials on Twitter. Harry's has 10 million people who have tried their product. And I want you guys to be one of that 10 million by going to use our unique link, harrys.com/script. Now, Harry's founders were tired of paying for razors that were overpriced, overdesigned. They knew a great shave didn't come from gimmicks like vibrating heads, flex balls, or handles that look like spaceships. Tactics that these other brands use to raise the prices for their product, and that's been going on for decades. Now, they fixed all that by combining a simple, clean design with quality, durable blades, and a fair price. Harry's actually bought a German factory that has been making blades for over 95 years, and they've received over 20,000 five-star reviews on sites like Trustpilot and on Google. Now, Harry's replacement cartridges are just $2 each. That's half the price of a Gillette Fusion Pro Shield. And all Harry's blades, like I said, come with a 100% quality guarantee. If you don't love your shave, they will give you your money back in full, guaranteed, man. $13 value. You're going to get a razor handle, one of 3 colors to choose from: the orange, the blue, and the evergreen. 5-blade razor strip with a lubricating strip and a trimmer blade. You're going to get a rich lathering shave gel bottle, 2 ounces. It smells fantastic. It feels great on your skin. And you're going to get a travel blade cover as well, all for free. Listeners of my show can redeem their trial set at our unique link, harrys.com/script. Once again, make sure you guys go to harrys.com/script to redeem your offer and let them know that I sent you to help support Off the Script, man. Thank you guys so very much for all of your support, not only with Harry's, but making Off the Script what it is today. Let's get into the news, man. I got a lot of news to go over, and we're going to start with the Becky Lynch story. Becky Lynch was suspended on Monday Night Raw, showed up on Smackdown Live, and like I said, slapped the shit out of Triple H. Now, why did Stephanie McMahon suspend the man, Becky Lynch, from WWE? Dave Meltzer actually noted this on the Wrestling Observer Radio, that WWE's plan is for Stephanie McMahon to be a heel in this program. Now, is there going to be a program between Stephanie and Becky Lynch? Is it going to result in a match? Well, you know, I sense that it's going to happen just based on what happened on Monday Night Raw. But it looks like all the comparisons people were making on Monday with the Austin McMahon situation, WWE is actually taking a page from the Austin McMahon situation back in the Attitude Era, and as good as they can, they're going to try and make that with Becky Lynch and Stephanie McMahon. They're going to try and mimic what Austin McMahon did in the Attitude Era. He says, and I quote those, Meltzer, "The idea very much is when this gets going that Stephanie is a heel, and they are doing it, it is the beginning of kind of a Stephanie heel turn, or heel run, I guess. I guess you could say it's a heel turn because she came off as a babyface with this new era announcement. But Stephanie's going to go full-fledged heel. And the heel thing is going to be Stephanie trying to hold Becky down because they only know one way to do this. And Stephanie is going to play to her strengths, and she's going to be a bitch on Monday Night Raw." He says they got the Stone Cold Steve Austin comparisons. Stone Cold Steve Austin was over with WWE when he feuded with Vince McMahon, and they tried the same thing with Ronda Rousey and Stephanie McMahon in the build to WrestleMania last year. So WWE seems to be going into the cookie jar again, this time with Lynch and McMahon, and this is certainly on the horizon. Now, the Wrestling Observer newsletter noted that Becky Lynch versus Stephanie McMahon is slated right now in the plans for SummerSlam, and this was coming from a direct source in the company stating that they have been talking about it since Monday Night Raw. Now, this is curious, and SummerSlam isn't until August, but it is the next of the big 4 pay-per-views after WrestleMania. So it looks like Stephanie McMahon and Becky Lynch, and the story here between these two is likely to continue after Becky wins the Women's Championship from Ronda Rousey at WrestleMania. It was not noted whether this match would be for a title, which is another interesting point to obviously take into consideration if Becky does indeed, and it should be the case, win the Women's Championship at WrestleMania for Monday Night Raw. I think this is a great... The only positive I see out of this, I really don't care about this whatsoever. I wish WWE would try something new and didn't have to go back into the cookie jar and rehash old storylines and try and make them new again, especially storylines that they tried over and over and over again with literally everybody. There's a lot more negatives to this than positives. The only positive I see out of this is that WWE is firmly behind Becky Lynch. And if they're putting her in a match with Stephanie McMahon, that alone should tell you how much they value and how high they are on Becky Lynch. Now, the negatives with this, obviously it's rehashed. We've seen this just a year ago with Ronda Rousey. How did that turn out? I didn't really care for it. I didn't want to see it to begin with, and I don't want to see it now with Becky Lynch. Number two, this is a new era. And I don't really want an authoritative figure on Monday Night Raw, or SmackDown Live for that matter, or on WWE programming, to be the center of attention against a disgruntled act on the show. In this case, Becky Lynch, or a rebel act like Becky Lynch on the show. It is, you talk about antiquated, this is antiquated. I don't want these shows to be dominated by an authority figure feuding with a current Raw superstar. It seems like WWE has their tired formula, and this is their tired formula. I don't think people are going to be interested in this enough to really last until SummerSlam. And I wish that they would try something new, and this is exactly what I fucking talked about. WWE goes back and does the same thing over and over and over again, and then they wonder why. Ratings are declining, and the fan attendance is declining. Nobody wants to see tired fucking formulas on the show week in and week out. Nobody wants to see rehashed storylines that worked 20 years ago in 2019. I don't really think that this is a positive outside the fact that they believe in Becky Lynch. And even that we know. She's slated for the WrestleMania main event. I wish WWE would just let their creative writing come out and write compelling television without having to rely on an authority figure or a McMahon. I don't really care about this. I don't think anybody really cares about this. I don't know what else to say outside that. And plus, Stephanie McMahon on Monday Night Raw in a consistent theme. I don't really care about Stephanie McMahon. She makes the shows worse. Stephanie being on television makes the shows far worse than they are, and they're pretty fucking bad right now. So I don't know what else to say outside that. It's being talked about. SummerSlam's one of SummerSlam's marquee matches is planned to be Becky Lynch versus Stephanie McMahon. I don't know how you guys feel about that. Speaking of major events, WrestleMania. The WrestleMania main event is not even set in stone. And there's conflicting reports on this back and forth. 1 week, Meltzer's saying that, yeah, it's definitely going to be Becky and Ronda. Now he's saying it's not set in stone. We don't know who to believe. I gave you every reason under the sun why it should be Becky and Ronda one-on-one. I talked about it on Off the Script last week. You guys know what I said. I don't have to repeat myself. Now, Dave Meltzer discussed this during the Wrestling Observer Radio, where he said that WWE likely won't arrange the final WrestleMania card until the very end or close to the actual event. Therefore, nothing is set in stone yet. Now, they did announce Ronda Rousey versus Becky Lynch. Nobody's stopping them from adding a third to that, rumored to be Charlotte Flair. They have already announced and made graphics for Seth Rollins versus Brock Lesnar for the Universal Championship. But Meltzer goes on to say, and I quote, Becky Lynch in her promo mentioned main event. And she's been mentioning it on social media. Main event. Last year, I was on the pre-show. This year, I'm in the main event. And all of a sudden, you think that they're really going to get the main event, the women. But then when they were building up the Seth Rollins-Brock Lesnar match, they also used the term main event. Now, I don't think this means anything outside of the fact that WWE is touting that they have more than one main event here. If the Becky Ronda situation is still the most hyped up storyline and the one storyline that has the most fan interest by the end of all this build, then that deserves to be the main event. I don't give a shit. If at the end of this thing, that has the most traction going into WrestleMania, that is the main event. And they've put so much into this already that I don't think Rollins and Lesnar is going to come out on top as being more exciting, or it's going to demand more fan investment over Becky Lynch and Ronda Rousey. Becky and Ronda right now is the main event of WrestleMania. I don't want to hear anything else. Dave Meltzer went on and said, and I quote, "So they're going to call both of them main events. This is nothing new. You can have a double main event. You can have 4 main events. One of the main events, obviously, is going to be a Daniel Bryan match, right? So that's nothing new. Everybody does that. Double main event, triple main event, whatever the case may be. So they're going to call both of them main events. It doesn't mean." Then he goes on to pause and say, I'm presuming that the women's match will be last, but it's Vince. I also presume that a decision won't be made until the week of the show because that's usually when they make those decisions. Becky said main event, but it's not a lock that they're going on last just yet. End quote. You never know if WWE will close out the show with Becky as the Raw Women's Champion, even if she does win her big match, which she must. It doesn't mean that the event will conclude with Lynch celebrating a victory because the company could always make another decision on which match should end the broadcast. It makes no sense for anything else to end the broadcast. I think WWE is well aware of that, and if they're not, they need to get on the same fucking page. I mentioned this in Off the Script last week when I talked about how Charlotte needs to stay out of Becky Lynch's spotlight. Charlotte and Asuka needs to be booked for WrestleMania. Not because I don't want Charlotte in the main event, because it makes more sense for Becky and Ronda in the main event, and it makes the overall WrestleMania card better if Charlotte and Asuka are in a marquee match of their own. You got to take Asuka into consideration here. Asuka has nothing going on right now heading towards WrestleMania. I know people who are close to some of the people on Smackdown Live, and they've told me that the plan for Asuka right now is 0. They don't have any plans for Asuka going into WrestleMania. All the more reason why you book Charlotte versus Asuka for the SmackDown Live Women's Championship. And then you want a WrestleMania moment. Company is so quick to, want WrestleMania moments and tout, this is a moment. Not only is Becky and Ronda going to be a WrestleMania moment because it's the first females match that's going to main event a WrestleMania in its history, but when Becky wins the Raw Women's Championship, if Bayley and Sasha are not women's tag team champions yet, if they win the titles at the Elimination Chamber or they win the titles at WrestleMania, either way, they are either walking into or leaving WrestleMania as the women's champions. Becky, Charlotte, and Sasha and Bayley, right? All champions. Charlotte could beat Asuka. Charlotte could beat Asuka for the SmackDown Live Women's Championship. That at the end of the show, all 4 horsewomen, you've been teasing the 4 with every situation with Ronda Rousey. What a WrestleMania fucking ending it would be if all 4 horsewomen of WWE stood tall in the middle of the ring holding up individual titles. Wouldn't that be something? What a way that would kick off the 4 horsewomen feud. Not yet, but that would be the biggest seed planted in all of that. Now, I know you're probably wondering, and I made mention of this last week, JD, I don't want Charlotte to beat Asuka again. It's fine. Put them in a fatal 4-way. Give a WrestleMania spotlight to a Mandy Rose, or a Naomi, or a Sonya Deville in that sense. Make it a fatal 4-way. Charlotte doesn't have to pin Asuka for the SmackDown Live Women's Championship. She can pin somebody else and win the title, so that we don't get a repeat of what we got last year. And then Asuka and Charlotte can continue their feud on SmackDown Live, because if Becky wins the Raw title, she's going to be on Raw. Charlotte and Asuka should spearhead that division on SmackDown Live after WrestleMania. It all makes sense. It certainly all makes sense. Now, with Becky, I don't know where they're going with this storyline. I made mention of this on Monday Night Raw. With Becky's knee injury that was botched. One moment she was holding one knee, and then the other moment she was holding the other. She didn't know which knee was hurt. She had to have a referee or a producer come over and tell her which knee was legitimately hurt in storyline. Now, I seen that. I seen a lot of people talking about that. And they're playing up the fact that she has a knee injury, right? Stephanie McMahon wants her to go see a doctor. Becky doesn't want to go see a doctor. She doesn't want to lose her WrestleMania spot. I don't know why they're doing it. I brought up the situation of maybe they're trying to build sympathy for Becky Lynch, and they're trying to make her even into a bigger star by having management hold her down, and she's going to be portrayed as this rebel, and the fans are going to rally behind her even more so to keep that momentum. Or I even cited the most obvious reason as to why they're taking her off television, because WWE can't write for her. They don't have the thought process to write for Becky Lynch for 2 months, which is probably the fucking case, because I wouldn't put it past these people to fuck this up in week 4, and have everybody lose interest. So they feel, well, we don't have the talent to book Becky Lynch for 2 straight months. Let's just take her off television. That's what I feel is the issue here. But then she showed up on Smackdown Live, and Triple H really kind of threw it in her face. Are you even injured? Are you scared? And I don't know if you guys seen the end of Smackdown Live and that segment with Triple H, where Triple H questioned Becky Lynch, is she scared? Are you afraid of this situation? Are you afraid of Ronda Rousey? You talk this big game, and then you're contemplating or hiding behind a knee injury. And then she walks out of the ring after she slapped him, and she wasn't limping anymore. I don't know what the issue is there. Now, I don't really like this knee injury, but WWE is going with it, and we'll see what happens. But I honestly feel like it's not needed. And I made mention of this on Monday and Tuesday night. I don't feel like the knee injury is needed whatsoever. But it's the simple fact that WWE can't write for Becky Lynch and Ronda Rousey for 2 straight months. Now, the way I would have gone about it is, Becky maybe going into a situation where she is contemplating getting the doctor's note or seeing a physician to get cleared. And WWE should have played off that aspect, And I'm gonna cite my friend Rusty right now, who actually gave me a legitimate storyline. I feel like WWE should have really played off the fact of Becky Lynch legitimately going to see the physician. And he mentioned this to me yesterday, and I want to read to you what he said, because I loved the way he actually booked this entire thing. And this is what he said here. And he starts off and says, first off, what they did isn't bad, but let's get it off Raw. I agree. I absolutely agree we get it off Raw. It should happen on SmackDown as well. SmackDown's got to be, built up as well, because Becky is on SmackDown, but she's challenging a Raw superstar. Number 2, he says, you build it up that she has a match at the Chamber. I don't care who it's against. Now, I said on Monday Night Raw, this would be a perfect situation for Becky to show face on Monday Night Raw and for others to step up and challenge Becky Lynch in this big moment of her career, whether it be a Ruby Riott, whether it be an Ember Moon, or anybody. Anybody that's going to be in the ring with Becky Lynch during this entire time is only going to look that much better off for it because they're in the ring with Becky Lynch. Plus, Becky Lynch gets a big win and keeps that momentum going into WrestleMania. So we're on the same page there. So, the Elimination Chamber, a match against anybody. And after that, on SmackDown Live, Steph tells her that you have 2 weeks to get medically cleared or she can't wrestle at the Chamber and loses her title shot. This is what Rusty is saying. So, you book her in a match at the Chamber. 2 weeks before the Chamber, you got 2 weeks to get medically cleared or she can't wrestle at the Chamber and loses her title shot. Cut to later in the show, Doctor is not sure if she's able to go. The next week, 1 week away from the Elimination Chamber, Doctor is still not sure. Chamber comes. Stephanie tells her this is her last chance. She finds a doctor that clears her and beats the shit out of whoever she's in the ring with. Could be a local talent. It could be like someone like a Sarah Logan or Liv Morgan, someone like that. All while staring at Steph. Like, listen, you doubted me? I'm ready to go. Build towards WrestleMania. Becky is badass. Even better, Ronda interferes in the match. People are booing her anyway. Honestly, that's what he would do, he said. I think that's great. And that's at least getting them through the Chamber. And all they have to worry about is the next 4 weeks of television, which you could do promos back and forth between Ronda and Becky, creatively write for both of them, one of those weeks on the go-home show, you could legitimately sign the contract, UFC style, make it like it's fucking Conor McGregor, you know? And something like that. Just have them go balls to the wall, off the cuff, and give me a real sports-like feel for this shit that puts the program over the top, and we're all fucking excited for it. We can't wait for it at WrestleMania. I don't understand how people in the community and people that I know who watch the podcast and listen to what I say and then watch the shows, how we can creatively book this show better than the people that are actually writing the program. I don't like that Becky's going to be off television, but WWE is hiding the fact that she's off television with management holding her down and a knee injury. And that's going to hopefully translate in their eyes to, oh, we want to see Becky. Oh, why doesn't management, cut this shit out, stop treating her unfairly, let her do what she needs to do. WWE think that's going to resonate with the fans and it's going to create some, huge momentum boost for Becky Lynch. I hope it does not backfire in WWE's face. I really hope. Because I was never for this knee injury. I understand why they're doing it. I don't mind it, but I don't think it's needed in the end. So let me know what you guys think about that. WWE planning a big change to Ronda Rousey and Becky Lynch for WrestleMania. Now, Meltzer also discussed this on The Observer. He says, and I quote, I know that there's stuff going around that it's Ronda Rousey and Becky Lynch in a singles match. It's not, the main event. It's nothing set in stone right now. I was told again this week that you can never say Vince won't change his mind, but this one is pretty much a lock at this point, and that's that. That's what's going to happen. He feels that Charlotte is going to find her way into the match at some point. You never know how WWE will book the storyline to see Flair inserted in the match, but apparently, according to Meltzer, he feels it's going to happen. They could save things in a big way if they added an elimination stipulation to this match. That way, at least the fans could plausibly see Ronda versus Becky in a singles match after Charlotte Flair's elimination. I was thinking about this too. What if WWE completely goes the Daniel Bryan route with this at WrestleMania 35, exactly how they did it in New Orleans at WrestleMania 30? What if they give us Stephanie McMahon and Becky Lynch to open WrestleMania and they book Charlotte versus Ronda Rousey? Like, people going off the fucking wall crazy over this decision, that they add Charlotte Flair to the WrestleMania main event against Ronda Rousey. Now, that could legitimately happen because Charlotte Flair still has a gripe that Becky Lynch wasn't even an active competitor in the Royal Rumble. She wasn't slated to be there. She wasn't advertised to be there. Finlay made the decision to put her in the Royal Rumble to replace Lana. They still have that go-to if they want to. Charlotte Flair could be added as a replacement for Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch, per storyline, out. It's going to be Charlotte versus Ronda Rousey for the Raw Women's Championship. What if WWE goes the route of doing this and they play up this knee injury and someone steps in and we get Becky versus Stephanie McMahon to open WrestleMania 35, just like we got Triple H versus Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania 30. And the only way for Becky to get into the main event is to prove that she can beat Stephanie McMahon and the knee injury isn't as bad as she says it is. She beats Stephanie McMahon and then gets added to the main event of WrestleMania and beats both Charlotte and Ronda Rousey by tapping out Ronda Rousey with the disarmer and wins the Raw Women's Championship with a bum knee. I thought that as well. Now, it would be a little too similar to what Daniel Bryan did, but I mean, WWE could certainly go that route. I mean, the knee injury is a big tell there if they wanted to do that. I know it would be very similar to what Daniel Bryan did, but it wouldn't make it it wouldn't make it any less exciting, and it would definitely keep people on the edge of their seat. I think that would be pretty interesting if WWE went that route. Now, I don't think they're going to go that route, but we'll see how this plays out. All I know is that WWE is keeping us on the edge of our seat, even with this knee injury. They're keeping us guessing, and I mentioned this a few times. They want to make us sweat with Becky Lynch. So it's going to be interesting to see, man. It's definitely the one thing that I think we're all invested in most going into WrestleMania. And like I said, by that account, it is the main event of WrestleMania. How we get there, I don't give a shit as long as the outcome is what we all want it to be, and that's Becky Lynch holding up the Raw Women's Championship. Now, the original plan for Ronda Rousey and Becky Lynch at WrestleMania, according to Meltzer, The idea very much is, when this gets going, that Stephanie McMahon is a heel and they are going to begin a Stephanie trying to hold Becky down. We talked about this. Now, regarding Lynch's hotly debated WrestleMania 35 matchup, in April, Meltzer said the original plan was for Becky beating Ronda. He assumes Becky Lynch is still beating Ronda Rousey in the match. He assumes also that Charlotte's going to be in the match. Perhaps they do something where she beats Charlotte Flair and they come back with Becky versus Ronda in a singles match, and Ronda will stay for an extra month. That's certainly possible. That's maybe even the way to do it. So that's according to Dave Meltzer. That was the original plan for Ronda Rousey and Becky Lynch. Either way, like I said, it's the most interesting storyline going into WrestleMania, and there's no doubt about what the main event is for WrestleMania 35 in New Jersey. WWE is implementing new rules for the tag team division. New rules for the tag team division. I guess this is their way to entice teams like the Revival and kind of live up to what they promised the Revival as far as tag team wrestling in WWE, having a more of a focus on tag team wrestling. Now, there are signs that WWE is putting more of a focus on tag team wrestling. WWE saw a rather interesting main event match. It really had nothing to do with the participants involved. It was Baron Corbin, and he was hit by Braun Strowman, who wasn't the legal man. Now, since Baron Corbin was the legal man, the referee called for the bell, and the match was ruled a DQ. This could be brought to light because AEW and their plans for tag team wrestling are going to be a priority. WWE doesn't want to lose tag teams to All Elite Wrestling, so they made a promise to the Revival that the company would turn over a new leaf. Corey Graves also said on commentary recently that each team gets one save during a match. Therefore, if an illegal partner is breaking up a pinfall attempt, then he can only do it once. However, he must leave the ring right after or risk being disqualified. This is very interesting because there have been plenty of matches where it felt like a free-for-all, and these rules were not followed or abided by. Seems that with the referee DQing Braun Strowman and Kurt Angle, that these rules might be more strictly enforced in the future. I remember this actually being a thing in NXT, and I didn't know what the fuck was going on. Now, it happened in a Tyler Bate and Trent Seven match against the Undisputed Era, where Kyle O'Reilly had some submission hold on Trent Seven, and Tyler Bate was on the apron, and he didn't come in to break up the submission. He waited on the apron because of this particular ruling. And I was told that if he came in, he would have been disqualified, which, I mean, probably would have made sense if you were Tyler Bate and Trent Seven, because you would have kept the titles in that instance. So it was kind of illogical at one point, but it was following the rules in some context. But either way you look at it, it wasn't implemented or wasn't stated on commentary, or nobody went over these rules. I wondered why Tyler Bate didn't come in and save Trent Seven. He stood on the apron and he threw in the fucking towel, and he pretty much forfeited the match, and Undisputed Era won back the tag team titles. It was not something that was discussed, or the rules didn't have life, or they didn't go over what was going on. We just all assumed. And I was one of those people that assumed, well, it really didn't make sense. Tyler Bate gets disqualified, they keep the fucking titles. I know why they were trying to tell a story, but, you know, there was a logic gap there that was clear as day. But these new rules, I didn't even watch the main event of Monday Night Raw because I refuse to watch Baron Corbin and fucking Braun Strowman and Kurt Angle in the main event. I just don't give a shit. Now, this could make for compelling tag team action. This is definitely going to force WWE's hand to produce these matches a little bit better. And I have to see how this goes off. And a team like the Revival with a set of rules like this, you have two guys like that with the minds and mentality of those two guys, we could see a new take on tag team wrestling that would be refreshing, different, and much needed for WWE television. Every tag team match that I feel is on WWE television, on the main roster, feels chaotic. It feels unimportant. It feels uninspired. These new rules, if they go into effect, which apparently they are, with the main event of Raw, it is going to bring forth a new take on tag team wrestling, and that's going to make people step out of their comfort zone. It's going to force WWE's hand at producing better tag team matches, hopefully with better story. It's all going to be on the fans, whether they like it or not. But they could implement all these new rules. They could have a fresh new division. The damage is done. The damage is done. You have harmed a team like the Revival so much since they've been called up that nobody legitimately cares about them. And it's going to take a while for people to get back on board with the Revival. Same thing with AOP. Same thing with Zack Ryder. People love Zack Ryder, but you're teaming in with Kurt Hawkins. Two guys who have been off television for the majority of 2018. It's going to take a lot to get people to care about those guys. AOP, same thing with them. You bury them. It's going to take a lot of people to care about AOP. Bobby Roode and Chad Gable, people still aren't taking to Bobby Roode and Chad Gable as a tag team, let alone tag team champions. Rhino and Slater, the Ascension. You got these tag teams, and all of these teams are teams nobody cares about. So no matter what new rules you implement, it's not about the rules or how these matches come off on television. It's the simple fact that you've buried every team in the division to a point where they're on television, they receive no reaction, and nobody gives a shit about them. The damage has been done. It's too little, too late. You're going to have to do more than implement new rules for the tag team division. This is why I stated the tag team divisions need to be merged. You got to get a team like the Usos or the New Day on Monday Night Raw. A team like the Bar back on Monday Night Raw. You got to mix up these teams. You got to put a team like those teams in there with a Revival, or in there with a Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins, in there with an AOP. Those teams are going to make the teams that are irrelevant that much better. Because they'll be able to prove that they could hang with those teams, and by that account, the fans are going to open up and say, you know what, these guys aren't that bad. And it's got to be a consistent thing. It's not going to happen overnight. This is why I'm so for the tag team divisions being merged. It's got to happen. You're not going to build this division the way it is on Monday Night Raw. You getting Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins together is not going to create a sense of, oh, look at our new revived tag team division. That's not going to get people to care. You got to get people to care. You got the resources for it. Like I said, they got all these resources and refuse to do anything with it. Why are the Revival getting another tag team title opportunity? I know why. I know you know why. AEW. This will be their third opportunity since, what, December? End of December, January? Third opportunity. First time, they should have won it. They didn't. Second time, they definitely should have won it. The first live show of the new year, they should have won the titles. They didn't. Now this is the third time. 1 and 2 didn't happen. Why would I care about the third? Why? The Revival told WWE that they had enough of WWE's booking of tag teams, so they asked for their release. This request obviously was denied, and I guarantee you that Dawson and Wilder are looking at AEW. They're salivating. They're licking their lips. Young Bucks, SCU, the Best Friends, the Lucha Bros. You know, their tag team division's looking pretty nice over there. It would be even better with the Revival, believe me. Now, this request obviously was denied, but a promise was given to the Revival that they would get a better focus on television. This week, the Revival captured a number one contender spot for the Raw Tag Team titles. WWE didn't reveal last when this match would be going down, but with the Elimination Chamber coming up on February 17th, it seems like the only logical destination for Dash and Dawson to get their shot. Meltzer confirmed on Wrestling Observer Live that their match is very likely to take place at the Elimination Chamber. Where's it going to take place? The fucking pre-show? If you want to focus on tag team wrestling, you cannot put it on the pre-show. Let those teams go out there and give me the house show matches that I'm hearing about. Sasha and Bayley raving about the work that the Revival and Roode and Gable have been doing on the house shows. Why aren't we seeing that on WWE television? Give these guys 20 minutes to go. I don't understand why you would hold teams or guys like this back. You want to focus on tag team wrestling? Give them the time to build a rapport with the audience. It's not going to happen in 5 minutes. It's not going to happen on the fucking pre-show. Booking this match with a couple of weeks of build could possibly be a good thing for all involved. Hopefully, with so many issues going on at the top of the card due to injury, the Revival and Roode and Gable will get some wrestling time on television because these two teams have been tearing it up, apparently, like I told you, at house shows that Sasha Banks and Bayley are raving about because they're huge fans of the Revival. I hope so. WWE has promised change in the tag team division. I haven't seen anything yet. I have not seen anything yet. In fact, the number one contendership, Heavy Machinery was so good in that match, I wanted Heavy Machinery to win. Just because I'm just so over the Revival getting a shot and losing. This is their third time now. I guess they say third time's the charm, right? We'll see. Speaking of Heavy Machinery, WWE has now chopped their name off. Not the team name itself, but Otis and Tucker Knight, known as Heavy Machinery, have had their names shortened. It now appears that they will go by just Otis and Tucker moving forward. They dropped their last names. In fact, WWE has now updated the official profile pages of each member of Heavy Machinery, where it says Otis and Tucker by clicking on their names, respectively. Now, obviously, WWE did this with Andrade. They took away the Cien Almas, which I still don't understand. I will forever call him Andrade Cien Almas. Andrade sounds like a fucking Spanish soap opera fucking clown. You know, sitting at some romantic fucking restaurant under a moonlit sky with fucking candles lit, right? About to take her back to his hotel room, Andrade. Fuck out of here. It's likely WWE will continue to get rid of superstar names and shorten them to their liking as the company sees fit. Big E actually chimed in on Twitter to congratulate Heavy Machinery on being inducted into this very selective club. He also gave them great advice in the process. Says, and I quote, "Welcome to the club, boys. Silver lining autograph sessions are now much quicker." This is something I don't really... this is something I don't mind. Otis and Tucker, whatever. Yeah, that's remedial. It's not a big deal whatsoever. Andrade Cien Almas is a big deal. Andrade, he sounds like everybody else on the fucking... The Cien Almas is the part that stuck out. And I look at it in the grand scheme of things. When I look at the billboards and the spotlight, right? Rey Mysterio versus Andrade. What sounds better? Rey Mysterio versus Andrade or Rey Mysterio versus Andrade Cien Almas? WWE thinks the other way around. I will forever call him Andrade Cien Almas. I don't give a fuck what WWE is calling him on SmackDown Live. WWE is turning Alexa Bliss into a babyface on Raw. Who gives a shit? Who gives a shit? Dave Meltzer discussed WWE's position with Alexa Bliss during Wrestling Observer Live. With Ember Moon out of action, it gives WWE Raw one less babyface. Along with WWE apparently turning Mickie James babyface too, it seems like Bliss could be making a turn herself. Says, and I quote, "Alexa Bliss was definitely positioned as a babyface tonight. Yes." End quote. Looks like with Raw's need for babyfaces in the women's division, they need to turn to some women to have, a switch on what role they play, from good to bad, or bad to good. Bliss has performed as a babyface before, but it is arguable that she's much better off as a heel. We will just have to wait and see what happens from this point on. Just like the Braun Strowman situation, right? When Roman won the Universal title, they had no heels to feud, or Vince didn't like any of the heels on Monday Night Raw as it is, so he had to take Braun Strowman, who was one of the most over baby faces in the company, flipped him to a heel to feud with Roman. Roman is gone indefinitely. Now they were stuck with Braun Strowman as a heel. They realized that they only did it for Roman, and then they flipped Braun back to a babyface. In the process, while all that was happening, Elias was a heel. Being that Strowman turned heel, they needed somebody to turn babyface to compensate for Braun Strowman. So they turned Elias babyface. And now look, Strowman is back to being a babyface, and Elias, because Strowman is now a babyface, turned back to a heel. with absolutely no explanation. They do things on the fly. And then you wonder why people lose interest. And then you wonder why people aren't coming to the shows. And they're not watching the program. Alexa Bliss turning into a babyface on Raw. I didn't care about her as a heel. I'm not going to care about her as a babyface. It doesn't matter. What matters is that in ring, when she's there, there's nothing special about her. Nothing. She's better off just doing this fucking Alexa moment of piss talk show on Monday Night Raw. Because that's her strength. The microphone. Don't give a shit if she's a babyface or a heel. I don't think that matters anymore. Who cares? I just wanted to pinpoint how ridiculous this company is. And yeah, Vince, we know what we're doing. Did you just see what I highlighted? Do they know what the fuck they're doing? I don't think so. Creative writer leaves the company and sends a message publicly about his experience. Why did he leave? Was he fired? Or was he fed up with Monday Night Raw like the rest of us? I don't even know how to pronounce this guy's name. Kazim Famouide was his name. He announced that he's leaving WWE. I don't know who the fuck he is. You're probably asking yourself, gee, who the fuck is that? I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. He announced that he was leaving the WWE and put over the WWE writing team huge, including giving specific props to Paul Heyman. He was nothing but appreciative of all the time he spent with WWE. Says, thank you for everything at WWE. Done more for me than you'll ever know. Thank you for letting me live my dream. There's tons more, and a lot of these aren't possible without the help of great people, great lead writers like Ryan Callahan, Ed Koskey, Steve G, and D.O. Double G. I'm endlessly grateful for this experience and learning so much, and now I can say this without consequence. The WWE creative writing team are some of the most incredibly hardworking, talented, funny, smart, and passionate people I've ever worked with. They get a shit ton of unnecessary online hate, and 98% of you who criticize them wouldn't last a week. They are brilliant. Really, they're so brilliant. That's why Monday Night Raw is in the worst state it's ever been, right? So where are these ideas? Yeah, they're so talented and hardworking and funny, smart, passionate. Where is this? And where is this being translated to the television shows? What's the problem here, folks? He's citing, he might not even be thinking about it when he's writing this testimonial, but from what I gather from this is that, oh, look at how great we are. Look at how our ideas are never used. Where do they go? They get brought to the table, and then they get brought to the fucking fire. Burned, never to be seen again. What's the problem? Vince McMahon. Does Vince McMahon realize that he has incredibly hardworking, talented, funny, smart, and passionate people writing for him? If he did, then maybe he'd ease up a bit and let these people write the fucking show. Because there's no reason to hire 30 fucking people to write your show if the only ideas that are going to be used are from one man who's 74 years old, who wants to cite, we know what we're doing. Also, big thank you to the extremely kind and thoughtful Paul Heyman, a guy who always sought me out to make sure I was good. Good advice. Helped me with my writing and how to maneuver in the machine. Maneuver in the machine? Nobody can maneuver in the machine because Vince McMahon is the one controlling the machine. Thank you so very much. So, there you go. The WWE writing team, guys, gets 98% hate. 98% online hate. 98% of you, he says. You criticize them and you wouldn't last a week. Monday Night Raw. I can't last 1 hour watching Monday Night Raw. Never mind lasting a fucking week. I can't even imagine working there. In fact, I wouldn't even accept a position from WWE as a creative writer on this fucking show. Not after all the horror stories I hear. I'm not going to be giving you my services when my services aren't even fucking appreciated. Yeah, they may be appreciated in your small inner circle, but if my ideas aren't being used on television, who sees them? Who sees them? You creatively right to have your creation take life on television. The only thing that takes life on television is Vince McMahon's bizarre fucking behavior and mind. Toilet humor and fucking ruining a tag division, ruining a women's division, Roman Reigns, flipping someone from babyface to heel and heel to babyface. It don't fucking matter. It don't fucking matter. The guy goes to sleep one morning, he wakes up after 2 hours of sleep and decides on something. Meanwhile, you've been writing something for fucking weeks and weeks and weeks. You got this long-term storyline planned out for 6 weeks, and Vince McMahon wants you to fucking just throw it away. It's no good. It's no good. This is what I have in mind. We're going to go with this. What's the point of writing? What's the point of writing? Ridiculous. It's like you go to college, and you get a degree, and you're fucking on your way to having a big boy job, and you get a job at fucking McDonald's flipping burgers, and you're there for fucking 10 years. What the fuck did I go to school for a degree for? Ridiculous. Creative writing in WWE, they may be talented, but that talent is certainly not appreciated, or at least given the opportunity to take life. So why? Why? I wish that they would go back to a small group of writers. What was the writing team back in the day? What was it? Vince Russo, it was Jim Ross, Jim Cornette, right? 3 or 4 different guys who hang out by Vince McMahon's pool. They're sipping Mai Tais and they're going over what they want to do. Now you got 30 fucking guys 30 brains, and none of their ideas are used. Absolutely ridiculous. Speaking of WrestleMania, Batista at WrestleMania. Are we going to see Batista at WrestleMania? Mike Johnson noted in PW Insider Elite Audio that Batista seems to have booked himself solid during WrestleMania season. Therefore, he might not be permitted to show up, and WWE might not have anything to offer him anyway. Says, and I quote, Batista, to the best of my knowledge, I've heard nothing about Batista. I know there was a lot of expectation about him and Triple H at WrestleMania, but he's going to be making Dune. I'm sorry. He's making Dune, a remake of whatever. I don't know what the fuck it is. In the next couple of months. Whatever that leaves him with, I don't know. Whether that leaves him the ability to train, prepare, or even come back to wrestle, I don't know. I haven't heard anything about it, end quote. Now, with Triple H injured and unable to compete at WrestleMania this year, it was reported that Triple H might not be ready at all for WrestleMania. I'm sure he will try his damnedest to be ready. It might be too little too late, though. Maybe WWE doesn't want to go with their backup plan for Batista. Therefore, we might have another show without the Animal. Triple H tore his pec muscle during WWE Crown Jewel. He suffered this injury while performing an over-the-top rope turnbuckle bump that he's done a million times before with no issue. Now Triple H is rehabbing and started training a couple of weeks ago. However, he might not be 100% ready to make WrestleMania and have a match. Whether you can't really never say never with Triple H. He's 49 years old, though, and the WWE COO might not have the healing powers he once did. Sports Illustrated reports the game will not be ready in time for WrestleMania. WWE did tease the match with Batista at Smackdown 1000. I am kind of interested in seeing where that goes because I just want Batista back on television. I think he's great. Given the proper role this time around, I think he'd be great. But like I mentioned months ago, if this doesn't happen now, and Batista here, he's already stated that he wants to come back. If Batista is filming through WrestleMania season, he'll probably end up finished. Maybe his schedule will be open for October. I would not be surprised, and I would have absolutely no issue. You know WWE is going to load up that first ever SmackDown Live on October 4th on Fox Sports. What's the difference? You don't have Triple H at WrestleMania. Who the fuck cares? Does he need his obligatory match every year? How many fucking guys on the roster need to go up against Triple H at WrestleMania? It's the same fucking shit every year. Whether it's a Rollins or a Strowman or an Angle. Who cares? Those matches don't end up being good anyway. So if you move this and let Triple H rehab and train and get right back into ring shape, what's the difference of doing this match in October compared to April? They could just load the SmackDown show up and feature this in the main event. You want to pop a big rating? There you go. It's not really out of the realm of possibility there. And if Triple H is not ready, that would be the next best date for this match to take place. Then you got Batista for the year, you have him through Rumble season, you have him through Mania season, and you put him in the Hall of Fame. Boom, done. Guy wants to be back. He wants to do the house show circuit. He wants to be on the weekly television every week. He wants a match with Triple H. So do it. Smackdown moving to Fox is a big fucking deal. Not as big as WrestleMania, but if you can't do it at WrestleMania, I'm not going to fucking lose sleep over Triple H not being at WrestleMania. Pretty sure you got the talent coming back to fill that void with something a lot better than fucking Triple H. Speaking of WrestleMania, John Cena fully expected to be at WrestleMania. Mike Johnson also talked about Cena and his WrestleMania status. John Cena is filming his new movie until April 1st in Vancouver, British Columbia. That allows him 6 days to have a match at WrestleMania. It's possible that he will appear. I would be shocked if he doesn't appear, whether he has a match or not. I have not heard anything. Now, Lars Sullivan was rumored to be John Cena's opponent. That looks to be completely off the table. I did make mention that John Cena on Monday Night Raw, in that fatal four-way that Finn Balor won to gain entry to the Lesnar match at the Royal Rumble. He pinned John Cena. WWE played an injury angle in that match, and all they have to do is really play up the fact that Drew McIntyre took out John Cena. There you go. You got a match right there. I'd much rather see John Cena versus Drew McIntyre than John Cena versus fucking Lars Sullivan, or John Cena not be on the show at all. I think that would be a decent match. I'd be more excited about that than anything else John Cena has planned for himself at WrestleMania. Cena versus McIntyre, I'd much rather see that than Sullivan or another rumored match against The Undertaker. Come on. Cena versus McIntyre probably is the way that WWE is going to go. And with McIntyre right now kind of floating in the mid-card, not really doing anything important, that could be a big match for him. And I think if WWE wants to get him back on that level of being Universal Championship material, I think a passing of the torch moment with John Cena could do Drew McIntyre pretty well at WrestleMania. The Undertaker's possible role at WrestleMania. Now, I don't know if The Undertaker's going to be at WrestleMania. I know that there were reports that he took all affiliation of WWE out of his social media. Yes, The Undertaker has a Twitter. The dead man has a Twitter. He took all affiliation of WWE out of his social media, and he is taking outside bookings for random promotions. He's doing meet and greets. He's doing these road tours where he just goes and I guess he tells stories or whatever the fuck he's doing. He's commanding $25,000 per appearance. So if you want The Undertaker to show up at your event, you better be paying up, because he does not come cheap. And you know what? Good for him. The guy's fucking earned $25,000 per appearance. Absolutely no question. For all that guy has done for us, $25,000 for his services now is cheap. The Undertaker, according to PW Insider Elite Audio and Mike Johnson, The Undertaker's possible WrestleMania status is he isn't planned for a match, but you never count out a cameo from The Undertaker. He says, and I quote, The Undertaker, I would expect to have a cameo appearance. I haven't heard anything about him wrestling. Remember, they didn't advertise that he was really, really, really gonna be there until WrestleMania was already taking place. End quote. We will have to wait and see how WWE uses The Undertaker this time around. John Fisher previously reported that The Undertaker is likely taking a break this year, and that's not a bad thing to consider. Now, I did make mention to a few people that I'm close to, and I don't really know if this is the direction now, but after Finn Balor had a very impressive outing with Brock Lesnar for the 8 minutes that he was in the ring with Lesnar, WWE moved him on from Lesnar to Bobby Lashley. I don't know why. I was hoping that Finn Balor would kind of remain a constant thing and slowly start moving up the ladder on Monday Night Raw, and maybe a possible match with The Undertaker versus Finn Balor. We didn't get to see the Demon at the Royal Rumble. We'd get to see the Demon at WrestleMania against The Undertaker. And I thought that was the direction that they were going to go, because I heard that Finn Balor was set for a major push and a possible major WrestleMania match. That is a major WrestleMania match, and that would be a huge feather in the cap of Finn Balor, especially with the AEW effect. We don't know when Balor's contract is up. You want to keep this guy happy. Putting him in a major marquee match at WrestleMania against The Undertaker is a pretty big deal. And I think that would kind of resonate with Finn Balor as to say, you know what, I think these guys care about me. Care about me enough to put me in the ring with The Undertaker at their biggest show of the year. I thought that was the likely direction of Finn Balor coming out of the Royal Rumble. Now I don't know. Finn Balor beat Lio Rush on Monday Night Raw to gain what I think is an Intercontinental Championship match against Bobby Lashley. Now, the only reason why Bobby Lashley is the Intercontinental Champion is I don't really have a reason. It's probably the same reason why R-Truth has a fucking United States Championship title reign. I don't know. But Bobby Lashley, the Intercontinental Champion, honestly, at the Elimination Chamber, if this match comes to fruition, I honestly think that Finn Balor winning the Intercontinental Championship would be a great thing. I honestly think if Balor is the Intercontinental Championship, you line him up with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, or one or the other at WrestleMania, and I think that would be a great undercard match for WrestleMania. Finn Balor versus Kevin Owens or Finn Balor versus Sami Zayn could work. It could certainly work. I don't know what the Undertaker's role could be outside of a Finn Balor match. I don't want to see Undertaker versus John Cena. I don't want to see Undertaker versus Braun Strowman. I don't want to see anything like that. Now, I was told that Balor and Drew McIntyre were given the green light. They were given the seal of approval from The Undertaker himself. People that I know who know people in the company that I speak to regularly, they told me that The Undertaker gave the green light on Balor and Drew McIntyre as possible WrestleMania opponents. Whether that happens, I don't know. It's all in the hands of Vince McMahon, so we'll see what happens. But I'm not going to lose sleep if The Undertaker is not at WrestleMania. With the talent that they have on these rosters, you don't need The Undertaker. You don't need Triple H. You don't even need John Cena. They're just there because WWE has no idea of what they actually have on their rosters. They always have to give you a Cena or an Undertaker or a Triple H. There's going to be a day and age where you don't have these people, and then what are you going to do? You're going to bitch and moan and cry that you don't have a John Cena anymore? You might as well get used to life without these guys now than later. Move on. Speaking of Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, we'll end with this. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, are they going to return before WrestleMania? Mike Johnson actually noted he had this entire WrestleMania block on PW Insider Elite Audio. Says, I quote, I have not heard anything definitive about them returning to the road. I would guess right now around WrestleMania, if not right now, afterward. Because they probably have their story set, and even if they can go, WWE may look at it and say, well, we're going to start a fresh series of stories the day after WrestleMania. We can bring them in and give them better introductions than having them get lost in the surge of our WrestleMania stories. End quote. It's possible for even incredibly talented superstars like Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn to get lost in the shuffle. It's happened before, and knowing WWE and their writing staff, it will happen again. Only time will tell how WWE decides how they use Owens and Zayn, who are on the verge of coming back. I know both have been at the Performance Center. Sami's been at the Performance Center. Kevin Owens has been in the ring with Seth Rollins, and he's been getting himself ready. He's lost a ton of weight, I hear. It isn't even guaranteed that they will be returning as a team. However, as WWE continues down the road to WrestleMania, it appears that they might already have their card in mind, and there just might not be enough room for Kevin and Sami at MetLife Stadium. With WWE's focus on tag team wrestling, I'm going to throw this out there, and this is all I'm going to say. You could use them in singles roles. You could use Kevin Owens in a singles role. You could use Sami Zayn in a singles role. I see them as being WWE's version of Pentagon Jr. and Phoenix. They are that good. They're great individually. They're great as a team. WWE needs to utilize Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn as their Pentagon Jr. and Phoenix. They could do everything. They could give you depth to the mid-card that you do not have, and they could give you depth for a tag team division and make your tag team division as a duo that much more credible by name value alone. You put them in the ring with the Revival, you put them in the ring with an Usos or a New Day or the Bar or Heavy Machinery, that's a big deal. That is a big fucking deal. I doubt WWE is going to bring them back on the road to WrestleMania. In fact, I would not even do that. I'm just throwing out the ideas of an Owens or a Zayn versus a Balor. This is why I don't know WWE or what WWE has planned for Balor at WrestleMania. He's got to be featured in some way. So with Owens and Zayn, it's probably best if they don't come back on the road to WrestleMania, because anything that they do is not going to be spotlighted. And you want those guys being out as long as they have to come back and make a fucking immediate impact. There's no better way to make an impact than Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania. You just got to be patient with it, and you got to give those guys a storyline, because if they're on Raw, or there's a shakeup happening after Raw, so I don't know where they end up, but wherever they go, they're going to need to make an immediate impact, because that's how valuable those two guys are. Owens is there for the next 5 years. So I hope that they have something planned for him, because he's a major player in this company. And any role that you've given Kevin Owens, he's excelled at it 100%. They need both of these guys back. And I hope with Sami Zayn that they start treating him a little bit better too. I hope that AEW effect rubs off on Sami Zayn, because they didn't really appreciate Sami Zayn either when he was there before the injury. I hope that he comes back, he looks better than ever, he's refreshed, and they treat him like NXT treated him. Give him a major priority on these shows. He's too good to just sit there idly and be wasted. I'm getting out of here, guys. Thank you so very much for all your support on Off the Script. Please make sure you guys follow me on social media at JD from NY206 on Twitter and Instagram. Hit that subscribe button down below and turn on that bell for all notifications. Follow me on Twitch, JD from New York. Patreon.com/JD from NY206. Remember, guys, the new t-shirt is available on bonfire.com. JD's Elite, now available. Link in the description down below at the very top. Go and get yours today. Available all month for the month of February. You guys know all the content I have produced this week. It's available for your viewing pleasure this weekend. Go and check it out if you did miss it. Monday Night Raw, Smackdown Live, NXT, the AEW Rally, AEW, All Elite Wrestling, Off the Script extras that I did. Make sure you guys go and check that out. Plus, the Off the Script, episode 260, part number 1, where we talked about Randy Orton possibly joining AEW and the deal that they gave him, along with the possibilities of the Usos, both Jimmy and Jay Uso joining AEW as well. Harrys.com/script for your free trial. Make sure you guys sign up today to get the free trial. Audibletrial.com/offthescript. You guys know the deal with that. 30 days free of their service and 1 free audiobook of your choice. Just for listening to the show, man. You're getting something for free with Audible, and you guys can cancel within the 30 days and still get to keep your audiobook for free. And if you guys want to check out my other online shop for merchandise, barbershopwindow.com/offthescript. Use code BSHOP20 for 20% off every single order on Barbershop Window, man. I am getting out of here. Thank you guys so very much for all your support. I will see you all maybe on Sunday with something. If not, I'll see you right back here next week on Monday for a brand new week of content, starting with the go-home show for the Elimination Chamber on Monday Night Raw. Until then, guys, I'll keep you updated on AEW. I'll let you know if I'm coming back on Sunday with more content. Until then, I'll see you guys on Monday for Raw. I'll talk to you later.